So then that brings us to the question of the week. And I'm going to toss the glasses back on for the YouTube folks in order to read the question of the week. So question of the week here is,
For those
roll,
listening
please.
on podcast, Nick is looking very studious now with his glasses on.
I'm very studious, studying hard here. So our question this week comes from Katie via email. And Katie said, hi there. Really enjoy your site and podcast. You guys seem knowledgeable about the Marriott program. So I thought I'd ask you this one. My parents spend $150,000 per year on their old Marriott Rewards Visa. They earn titanium status through this. I think the Ritz might be a better card for them with the benefits, but can they still earn this level of status through spend on the Ritz card? They aren't interested in a business card because they are co-owners. So I assume co-owners of the card itself or whatever. So thank you for your time. So, all right, they spend $150,000 a year on the old Marriott Rewards Visa. They get titanium status based on their spend. Should they upgrade that to the Ritz card? That's the question.
So let's talk a little bit about the old Chase Marriott card that most people listening probably don't have anymore, because Chase offered all kinds of incentives to upgrade to the what is now the Bonvoy something or other card. I forget.
Right. The something or other card.
That card exactly earned 1 point per dollar for most spend, and for every $3,000, I think it was, you got one elite night credit. So $150,000 of spend on that card means you get 150,000 points, and you get 50 elite night credits. By having the card, I think they got 10 or 15 nights for having the card. It used to be different. I don't know. Yeah, but let's say 15. So
you still get, you get 15
so that means
now.
They were at like 65 elite nights, and maybe they spent 10 each year in actual hotels to get to titanium status. Now, or the reader made a little mistake and meant they get to platinum status with all that spend. I'm not sure. Because if that's what she meant, then she's absolutely right, because the Ritz card with only $75,000 spend would earn just as many points. 75,000 spend, because that card earns 2 points per dollar. That would give her parents 150,000 points, and would give them platinum status. We give whoever the card holder is platinum status, not titanium status, and not a leg up towards titanium status either, which is important, because if they earn 25 more nights through stays and having the credit card, that's just 25 nights. Like, it doesn't add up, because the platinum you get from spending on the Ritz card is just all-in-one chunk.
Status. It is not 15 elite nights. It's just platinum status.
Right. So they also wouldn't get choice benefits, which they are getting today. So there is some trade-off, but the point is, you could get meaningful level they could get a meaningful level of status with half the spend, and they would earn just as many points. If they had 75,000, I would think they would do much better putting 75,000, the other 75,000, on a more rewarding card, even a 2% cash back card. Then use that to stay in any hotel you want or whatever you want to do with it.
Right. I mean, you'd be talking about $1,500 in cash back at 2% cash back. And if you're able to do any better than that, I mean, if you're spending that much, maybe you can get the Bank of America premium rewards, and you got enough, money or assets on hand to get platinum honors and get 2.65% cash back or whatever. And then you're talking about over $2,000 in cash back on that 75,000 spend. So yeah, you could come up with other ways to do that. The other thing I want to mention, and I'm going to mention this without the answer, because now that you're talking about all this, I'm thinking about the fact that I meant to go back and check, because at the beginning, I think it was the beginning of last year, I did get an elite night for 3,000 spent on my old Marriott card. But because of all the promos happening towards the end of the year, I know I spent more than 3,000 once or twice, and I don't think I got any extra elite nights. So I got to double check my account and see if I ever did get those elite nights, and if I do get the elite nights this year. But I'm not positive that I did anymore, which made me wonder if they had cut it. So I would just say, if your parents are spending 150 right now on that card, make sure that they are still getting those elite night credits that they had been before, because at some point we wondered whether they would drop that as a benefit. And it didn't seem that they did. But then, like I said, I I was thinking that I did not pick up any additional nights when I should have. So I'll have to double check that, and hopefully you'll see it in the notes, the show notes here, whether or not I did get those extra elite nights that I should have on the old card. Because again, that's the old card, the $85 card that gives a $25K certificate that's supposed to give one elite night credit for every $3,000 spent, or at least that was long one of the benefits on the card. So, so I would do the Ritz. I would go the Ritz route personally. I think it just makes more sense.
Yeah, I agree. I would go that route, and because also the other part of it, if for some reason they really value titanium status, then hopefully it's because they're staying at Marriott properties a lot where they're using that status.
Right.
And in that case, they don't need to get 50 elite nights from $150,000 spend. They could do a lot less spend on their existing card to do the incremental amount that they need to get to that level of status they want. So
now, two other things we should point out. One, if they upgrade to the Ritz card, they're not going to be able to get that specific Marriott card again. You can't get back to that one that gives
that's true.
the elite night for every $3,000 spent. So there's not going to be a way to take that back, so to speak, in the future. There are downgrade options. You could downgrade to the whatever it is, the Marriott whatever card that's $95 a year that we can't ever remember the names because they all sound the same. Looks like my camera just went off. So if you're watching this on the video, apparently you lost me. Hopefully I can get that back on. But the other thing that I wanted to mention is that if they had titanium status last year, they're looking at 38 nights this year, plus 15 from having the credit card. They're at 58. So really, they're in pretty good shape towards titanium status if they're going to stay at all this year. Anyway, right?
That's a good point. The other thing is, if they don't want to give up that the ability to earn the elite night with $3,000 spend, maybe just kind of set that one aside and sign up for the Amex Bonvoy Brilliant card. Spend $75K on that each year. Has the same effect as the Ritz, and then they could always go back if they needed a few extra nights for whatever reason.
Absolutely. All right, so I'm going to switch my camera over so that it fixes that, and I'll find out later on what happens. So I
have no idea if any of this will get in the final recording, but Nick has been trying out all kinds of new tech today, and so we see the result of that, which is
but it worked for a while and then it stopped working. So we'll have to see whether that's a battery issue or what. I'll figure it out later on. But so if you're watching on YouTube, then you just probably lost my face for a little bit, but here I am back. And if you're listening in podcast form, you probably didn't notice any difference at all. So that said, I think we've answered that. Then probably we say go for the Ritz.
Right. But I did give another option, which is the Bonvoy Brilliant, which is
there you go.
Yeah.